Melissa Jakes, the Olivia Pope of virtual and live events, is the CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, a Washington, D.C. based boutique event planning firm to influencers, organizations, and corporations. During this pandemic, Melissa's expertise in online event planning has become a hot commodity. Her company also provides several courses on topics related to event planning and entrepreneurship. She gives mommyprenuers the tools and services to balance career, business ownership, and management with family. Melissa has spoken at several events such as Facebook Boost and conducted workshops at universities and small businesses. She has been featured in several publications such as Event Planner Association Podcast, Rent My Wedding Magazine, Morgan State University, iHeartRadio, CEO Blog Nation, BET Influencer, and Event Planner Expo 2020. She provides entrepreneurs with special tools to combat what she calls FWD, fear, worry, and doubt obstacles, in order to break through and become successful owners. Mommyprenuers, let's welcome Melissa Jakes.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope you are having a fabulous, fabulous week. And I hope it is going well. So if you're new and you're watching, please put in the comments where you're watching from. If you are a mompreneur, I want to know. So definitely please put in the comments where you are chiming in from. So I'm still at a high. I'm still on a high. If you haven't noticed, I have a new intro now, and I'm super excited. That was from my conference this past Sunday, actually, just a few days ago. And I had I will call them speaker reels done for my speakers at my conference. If you missed the conference, you missed it. But we will have a bundle replay that is, that's going to be my Black Friday sale, where you're able to get a bundle and a kit that all our VIP guests are receiving in the next few days. You will be able to get that as well. So, I wanted to recap and have a topic that we're going to discuss about because some people have never done conferences before. So today we're going to talk about 3 lessons I've learned about hosting my first virtual conference. So we're going to definitely touch on that. But before we get into that, I want to get into one of our sponsors. One of our sponsors is Noor by Nire, and you can get this Power Moves candle. When I mean it helps make power moves, it really does. It may sound silly, right? But when you're able to shift the energy and shift your mindset and having something to help you with that, this candle smells amazing. I love smell goods, but also I like to light it. And my traditional thing is every Monday, I'm lighting the Power Moves candle because I'm making power moves for the week, and it's setting my goals, my financial goals, my business goals, my mommyhood goals, and it's something to help me push through the week. And so if you want to purchase this candle, you can go ahead and purchase this candle at Noor by Nire using my discount code Melissa Jakes, and you'll be able to get 15% off of utilizing the code Melissa Jakes, 15% off. And trust me, there's so many other things there. So there's also Let's Toast. So getting ready for the holidays, toasting, that might be a good stocking stuffer if you're looking for things right now for Christmas, holiday season. And for New Year's, Let's Toast. It smells really good. But my candle that I really like is Power Moves. Power Moves smells amazing. And Plum Cashmere smells amazing too. My husband happens to love it. So definitely make sure you get your candle 15% off. Head over to Noor by Nire and get your 50% off your total purchase. Just not one candle, but your total purchase. You get that off. So let's talk about 3 lessons that I've learned from hosting my first conference, right? So there's a couple of things that I've learned, there's a lot of things I've learned actually, but three major things that stick out to me is the first thing is having a support team. So granted, you guys know on here, I'm a mommypreneur. I give mommypreneur advice, entrepreneur advice, or maybe bring on somebody so they can help learn something about their business and help juggle mommyhood and relate and all that stuff. But on my other business, it is rescue event planning, and I'm a event planner, right? So we do conferences, birthday parties, all of that jazz, right? And so the key of that is clearly, Melissa, you can plan your own conference, but what you don't realize is that even though I'm a planner, the planner still needs an executor the day of. You're doing a lot of things behind the scene. And so though you may feel like you got it all planned well together, who is going to execute it? Who's going to go check the emails? So there's a couple of things that happen. People were buying tickets the day of. That always happens in virtual events. Usually in-person events doesn't happen, but something I've learned throughout the journey of hosting virtual events, people are buying tickets the day of, because usually in person, you have to drive and go somewhere, get dressed. There might be a cutoff date on ticket sales or whatnot. So you're not really, somebody's not popping up and buying a ticket. Sometimes that happens, but not all the time. So for virtual events, you're just rolling over out of bed, hopping online. Oh, this is about to happen. You know what? I did want to go to it. I totally forgot to get the ticket. So people will automatically, boom, buy tickets the day of, during the event, sometimes even after. Okay. It will happen. How are you going to be focusing on your event live and check the email? You can't. You cannot. So you have to have a support team. You have to have a support team to make sure that someone is checking your emails regularly throughout to see, did orders come in? Because if orders came in and they need to get access to the event, how can they? They can't, right? So make sure you do have that support person. Not only did that person help me with checking emails, they also help send out information, troubleshooting. Sometimes you wouldn't believe it. People are still having issues troubleshooting how to access, either if you're doing it Zoom, if you're doing it on YouTube, Instagram, if you're doing it on RegFox, Hey Summit, Hoover, whatever platform you're using, there might still be some tech issues people are having. And so who is going to be that person they can contact if they're having tech issues? And so you need to make sure somebody's monitoring that email as well. During the event, especially right before, like that 30 minutes before, 10 minutes before, people then are realizing, oh, well, wait, where's the link? How do I get the link? What do I click on? Oh, I forgot this, I forgot that. So you need to make sure you have somebody watching that. The other aspect is if you're giving any freebies, if you're having like a program book, if you're having any freebies to give away, you want to make sure they're able to access that. How do they access that? Are you putting that in a Facebook group where the files are? Are you emailing it to them? It's sending out a link for them to download it. However you're doing it, you want to make sure somebody's able to have access to that and able to answer those questions, because let's say somebody said they didn't get the email. Oh, it went to my spam, I couldn't find it, or I accidentally deleted it. Can you resend it? You're live. How can you focus, shift the different screens to make all that happen? You can't. So definitely my number one lesson was a lesson I learned, and I'm glad I did it, was to make sure you have a support person to handle all of those back end stuff. The other thing is making sure your speakers come on time. Right. And so maybe they're not tuning in the whole time, your speakers or your vendors. They may not be tuning in the whole time. So who's going to remind them to get on stage, or, backstage, if you want to call it. And so that was helpful, because we did have somebody I was running behind anyway, but we did have somebody who was not on point, and I was like, oh, we're about to get to them and they're not here on the back end. So that person was able to help me. My team was able to help me bring them on. So that is something that you definitely need to make sure you have a support person. Is lesson one. Lesson two: over communicate. you have to realize there's a lot of things happening online these days. We're doing school, work, home, church, networking groups, conferences, summits. There's a lot of things that are happening. And so you may feel like you have been advertising your butt off. And you talk to one of your good friends and they're like, what conference? And you're like, you gotta be kidding me. I've been posting 3 times a day. You didn't see the conference? There's a couple of things you have to remember. There's algorithms. Instagram algorithms are different from Facebook algorithms, then LinkedIn algorithms, then Twitter algorithms, okay? So there's a whole bunch of different algorithms and you got to understand them all. That's a whole nother beast and a whole nother course. There's certain times you should be posting and certain times you shouldn't be posting, and on different platforms. So you need to over communicate. And if you're trying to get ticket sales, or even if it's free, over communicate, because you may feel like, if I post one more time about this conference, people may think I'm crazy. But you have to understand they may never even see it on their timeline. Or they pass by it because you might be somebody like me, very active. Oh, Melissa's doing something else. Oh, she's doing something else. Not realizing, oh, she's hosting a conference, and they may think it's my client's conference versus it's me, right? Even though your picture's on the flyer. Listen, I've heard it all. So the key is, which most entrepreneurs should know by now, 6 to 7 times of making sure you tell your audience about your event is helpful to make sure that they, it takes them 6 or 7 times to purchase something, whether it's for Christmas, whether it's for purchasing for travel, whatever it is, it takes a person 6 to 7 times. So think of the same way. You need to over communicate 6 to 7 times, especially on social media. Have a great social media plan, and your email list, have a great plan for that as well. But make sure you over communicate. My third one is some social media hacks. So we talked about social media a bit, but definitely some hacks is tagging your sponsors, making sure, like when I did my social media copy, you should definitely have a social media copy. That's needed. What is that, Melissa? What is social media copy? It is verbiage that you can send to your speakers, your vendors, your sponsors, and that you use for yourself. As you're posting your tag, you have a certain language that you use, and you shouldn't just only have one. You should have multiple different ones. So a quick tip or quick social media hack: people don't really know what to post when they're doing their events. But I like to lay it out because sometimes I don't like to think on spot unless something is just really like, oh, this would be great. But other times I'm like, I don't got time for that. I need something like copy and paste. So before the conference, way before the conference, you should definitely map out your social media content. And then you have a Google Doc that you could share with your vendors, your sponsors, your speakers, and yourself, so that when you're putting out your social media content, you can copy and paste that. One thing is make sure you have everybody, your sponsors, your vendors, your speakers, all on one social media copy. Then to bring up variety, each speaker gets their own copy, a quick snippet of their bio, still highlighting that it's your event. And then, of course, put the hashtag. Make sure your hashtags are lining up across the board, because then you're showing up in all those different varieties on different platforms, and it's showing consistency whenever they go the hashtag. Man, this person has been using this hashtag for a while, right? So make sure you're doing that. Of course, the spur of the moment thing of hopping online, doing a live always helps, but make sure you have that. And making sure you're making your speakers and your vendors and your sponsors, of course, your sponsors, making sure they feel very valued of being a part of your conference. Get them excited. You're excited. They need to be excited as well about attending, and encourage them to invite guests. Another way that you can have people more attend to your event is offer an affiliate link for your speakers and for your vendors. That will get them encouraged to bring people on, and so that they can attend the event. So that's definitely some 3 things that I've learned throughout the journey of hosting my first virtual conference. Though I'm not new to virtual conference, it is definitely something Interesting being on the other side. It's so nerve-wracking. Now I know what my clients are talking about. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do, Melissa? Blasi. It was very nerve-wracking on the other side, but it's very rewarding to do. So if you are that person who has been thinking about, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I really want to do a conference. I've never done a conference. Oh, who's gonna listen to me? Who's gonna buy my tickets? Just take that all away and just jump. Just jump and do it, because you just never know when it's going to be the right time to jump. And even if it's not the right time to jump, right? There's trials and errors. You do it, you learn about it, and you keep it moving. But you need to make sure you do it, because if you wait on it, the next year will come, and the next year will come, and then 5 million people have gone and done the thing that you were supposed to do, but it was meant for you. So make sure you jump and do it. It's my first time jumping. I waited a whole year, and I could have done this way earlier than that, right? And it shouldn't have been COVID shouldn't have started pushing me towards doing it. So definitely, if you're thinking about doing it, I encourage you to do it, because it's definitely great. Another thing that you should have that I'm gonna give to you guys. Let me find it. Is there is a guide. So I had a freebie given to my guests, which is called an Entrepreneur's Guide to Increasing Productivity and Profits, and a quick little ebook. So that's something that's really simple, but really good and easy to give. You want to make sure you give that to your guests, give them a little freebie, so that you're able to give them something and thank them for coming, right? So you want to make sure that happens and give that to them. So you can get an Entrepreneur Guide to Increasing Productivity on my website. For you guys, it is $9.99. Very cheap. So it is a quick ebook about learning how to be having better productivity, because especially in coronavirus, you might have 5,000 stickies. There's distance learning happening here. You got a baby crying in the background. Your husband doesn't know what to do. All types of stuff happens, right? And so you want to make sure you're having a great guide to having better profits and productivity. And so this guide walks you through 9 different steps on how to do that, and things that I've done myself. So head over there, check it out, get yourself a copy, and let me know what you think about it, for sure. But if you attended our conference, you were able to get that for free. So that's something else. Giving freebies is my 4th little bonus there, of giving some freebies out to your guests, because you make them feel very valued. You want the ticket to feel valued and appreciated, that they definitely attend. Not only the information, but just some other things to help them go through. And so it's been a great experience. I'm so glad I did it. It's going to be an annual thing. And we have some things coming up that we have some sponsors that saw what I did and looking to pull the trigger soon. So we're so excited about that. And so definitely stay tuned. For some great opportunities to come about for 2021. But, you guys, if you're thinking like, I'm not sure if I want to do this right now, you definitely should do it. 2021 is going to be different. I'm hoping by closer to the end of 2021, we might be able to move out and about better. At least in the US, depending on where you're watching. You might be out and about now, but US, we don't like to sit down, so we're suffering again. But make sure you are lining up and mapping your things out in 2021, because the time just goes by, and it doesn't wait for anybody. And so if you continue to sit there and wait, 2021 will come, and I'll be talking to you about 2022. All right. So thank you guys for watching this evening. If you have questions for me, definitely put them in the comment box. Put #replay. I go back and I look at all the different comments. So definitely go back and do that. And I hope you guys have a beautiful Wednesday evening, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.